What is up? What is going on, everybody? Had a little bit of technical difficulties there. How's everybody doing? Make sure that I sound okay using the other mic today. A little bit of a different spot right now. Let me make sure everything else is good here. How's everybody doing? What is everybody up to? How's the weekend going? I forgot what I was going to do. There we go. Let's see. All right, there we go. Sound fine? Okay, cool. This, before I forget, this live stream is presented by Ambro Controls. I got a little bit sick a few days ago, so I wasn't able to get to do those videos yet, but I'm going to do some videos, and sure enough, we're going to use that last, the video I posted yesterday as an example as how not to braise. So we have some brazing videos coming up that I need to get. No, it's my office. I have some brazing videos that I need to get done, and Ambro Controls makes it so easy. Precision torch, small setup. If you guys are working in attics, rooftops, all of that stuff, it makes a big difference going from a full oxy acetylene set down to something that like Ambro Controls offers. And I don't even use anything else except that set. It does everything I need to. I mostly do up to 1-inch piping. So go check out Ambro Controls. I have been asked about where to get it. You can't order it anywhere. Like, you can't get it off of Amazon or anything like that. You have to get it at your supply house. So check out, I get it at Johnstone. I get it at Insco. And I know there's other ones that carry it. Just look for it, ask for it, and see if you can get yourself a set. Soldering boards. That's a new skill that we have to learn as well. With all the relays and electronics that give out, I've talked about it. I've seen some techs that do it. Hats off to them. And, everything's electronic, and it's usually just, let me raise, I didn't want it to be too loud. That's why I'll raise it there. What was I going to say? A lot of times it's just like a relay that gives out on the board, or something short circuits. You break a circuit and you just have to solder it back, right? That's going to be the new skill. If we can get those parts, you would have to get the actual components and whatnot to be able to fix those. But if you can, I think that's kind of cool. Board, I had one that the defrost relay gave out. I have another one that the fan relay gave out. And I've seen other guys that have boards where just the circuit, right, it travels from relays to resistors and all this other stuff. And if you look at the back of it, you can see where the board goes, like where these things go, where you can trace them to and stuff. And somewhere along the line, something shorts out, something happens, and it pops one of those lines basically. And you can just bypass it with soldering skills, right? After you fix the problem, because the board itself is still good. It broke that connection or that line. And like I said, I've had some that it's just like a defrost or something, acting up with it. And if you could have those readily available to just solder on and fix the problem, that would be so awesome, versus having the customer wait for a whole new board, which is typically what happens. Let me get back to the chat. I appreciate everybody for hanging out on a Sunday evening. Awesome. We are going to have some stickers to give away, but like new stickers. So thank you for making the order. Um, all of my, what do you call it? Oh, man. All of my original stickers, you can order them on my website, reliablehvacr.net. Go to the merch store, and that's where they're available. I don't remember the size. I try to make them a little bit bigger than the ones I get, because the ones I give out for free are like small. But basically, you can order those on there. But I'm gonna be making new designs, and I want to give those away and give them out somehow. So we'll have the new ones, the HVAC Nights, the new one that I just did. I'm gonna put a poster up of it somewhere behind me here, and we're gonna do stickers. So we'll give those out as well. I hope to give out a bunch of them so that everybody can get that, specifically that sticker, that new Nights one. And that is actually, I've just been busy and I've been sick. That was actually supposed to be for AHR, so you guys kind of got like a sneak peek at it. It's not the final design, but I'm gonna give away because I just thought it looked cool. For AHR, because Mike had asked, and I think I saw him in here, about what shirts are we giving out, right? Are we doing another takeover shirt? So that's probably going to be the theme, is just HVAC Nights takeover. So we did that last year with the it was just a night shirt that said A2L certified, and then it said takeover in kind of a pixelated. I know you asked if this was my son's room. This is my stuff. And the font was like that Game Over font, I believe. So this year, or no, technically next year, this AHR in Vegas, I thought of doing something Vegas themed, but then I really liked the way that design came out. I thought it looked great for Halloween, so that's why I'm trying to get it sampled and test out some shirts so we can have some of that stuff for sale already. And there's going to be an AHR version of it, another takeover shirt. We are going to be at the podcast pavilion, so make sure if you go out, I've seen more guys signing up, so I'm excited to see. I think Vegas is the one to go to. So catch me at AHR Expo. I'm going to be there. Podcast pavilion with mine. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for mine yet. The Reliable Trades podcast. And then you're going to catch Jake and I doing the HVAC Nights. That's going to be on Monday. That's the first one we do. Just Monday is typically when everybody's there. So I want to make sure that you guys can catch the Nights show for sure. So Monday afternoon is HVAC Nights. And then we're supposed to podcast. We've been asked to podcast just around the floor. So once I get that locked in and we have the actual booth that we'll be at, and there's like 2 or 3 right now, time and days and all that, I'll make sure to share that. But we are supposed to be like around as HVAC Nights podcasting. That's why I asked for volunteers. So you guys, if you see us when we announce that, we want people to stop by and say what's up, like on camera, and we can, or Jake's the professional interviewer because he did that last time, and we can do that, and it'll be fun. So shirts will be out for that, specifically AHR shirts, but I'm gonna try and have some for sale of a similar design very soon, so you guys can get them if you don't go. But if you go, we're going to give out those AHR shirts. Definitely be at Vegas, yeah. Jason. Oh, man. Well, take care, man. Playing Borderlands 4 right now. I thought of setting up something here because it's because I asked one guy from TikTok to be on the podcast. And he said, this was like a year, maybe 2 years ago. So we haven't even like done it, or I haven't asked again. And he's like, cause he like the people that live stream on TikTok are always doing something, doing a video game or doing something else. I haven't played in a long time. I do have some games that I bought like last year that I've been trying to play, and or maybe longer. But he's like, the only way we'll do the podcast, and he's just messing with me, but he's like, the only way we'll do it is if you play a video game with me and we live stream video gaming and podcasting at the same time. I wanted to take him up on it. I just don't have a setup for that. So now maybe I can have a setup for that, and I'll figure something out. But that was funny because I'm not that good at video. I used to be. I'm not that good at video games anymore. So, we'll see how that goes. Flurry. Oh, well, actually, my girlfriend did tell me that it was supposed to be cold here. Now, granted, I don't know about you, Jason, if you're still awake. I know people up north were saying that it's like, oh, finally cool. It's, fall season. It cooled down a lot. It was 98 here, so it's hot over here. Friday, we have a low of 47. That's insane. But then it's 90 degrees the next day. Yeah, so hopefully we got a cold or cool Halloween. Yeah, we'll have one. I already have one in mind, and I think a lot of people are gonna really like this one because the last ones we did, they were cool, and I think those shirts were really good. But it was very simple. A2L certified, takeover, AHR. This time I want them to actually look like I have a certain look that I'm going for. And once you guys see it, you'll get it. And yes, please, if you guys can hit the like button, help these streams get out to more people. I appreciate everybody that's here. Like I said, just hanging out on Sunday. First call tomorrow is E2s at Starbucks. I'm wearing a jacket if it gets that cold. Like if it gets 60, I wear a jacket. Or not a jacket, like a hoodie. Make sure you get your HVAC for Life, HVAC Nights hoodies over at the merch store. Where are you at? Cali? Are you asking somebody in the chat or me? I'm in Texas. But I'm all the way down south. It never gets cold here. It like I said, it's been 98, high 90s, and it looks like at the end of this week we're going to get highs of 85 and lows of like 50, maybe 47. Run it up, Black Ops. What is up, Rudy? Yes, sir. Hit the like button. Appreciate it. Chilly in Tulsa this week. Mornings 80s in the afternoon. Arizona is very different. You guys get hot, but you guys have that desert weather. So it can be hot and then be really cold at night. We're just really hot even at night. Just recently it started to cool off because even at night it would be like 85 degrees, 80 something. Haven't played a game since PS2 came out. Let me see. Cold weather finally in Georgia. I've had a component break off a new Marichef board in shipping, and I was able to move that component from the old board to the new one. If only we still had a Radio Shack, yeah. Yeah, Ream dealer. They can shove it. I tried getting a Ream coil, and they just flat out told me no. So I don't really like to go to Insco, but if my other supply houses don't have it, I'll usually go to like 2, maybe 3. Insco's my last stop. If I don't like the other day, I could not get R290 at all. Nobody had any R290. It was completely off the shelf. They told me that they might be getting some in that day, or it could be next week. And I was like, I'm trying to go, fix or not. I had a call for an R290 system that I wasn't sure about, but I wanted, because my whole thing is truck stock, right? So I'm going to have some videos very soon, because somebody asked me about what is on my truck stock. So we'll do that very soon. But I like to have everything ahead of time if I know what I'm getting myself into. R290 is not super expensive. You can get it for 15, 20 bucks. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go pick some up, because I was going to go check an R290 system that potentially needed to be like a dryer and something else changed out, because one of our apprentices checked it, but he wasn't sure. And I did record, but it wasn't super exciting. So I went to go pick some R290 up, only to find out that they didn't have any, couldn't find it, couldn't get it. Had to go to Insco. Like I said, that's my last resort. I really don't like the Insco here. We've talked about it. I know some other guys have talked about it. Like, the reason you go to your supply house, like the reason I go to Johnstone, is because of how they treat me. We all know Johnstone in particular, but I mean, they all do it. Johnstone in particular might have higher prices. They might jack up the prices. And sometimes I've been able to find things that I might not need, right then and there, from another supply house, or like an online supply house, supplyhouse.com, We Supply Trades, just to throw a few out there, All Points, Partstown, all these other places. And if I can wait, I'll order it, because sometimes it's like twice the price or something stupid, right? So the reason I go to Johnstone is because of how they treat me, the warranty, the flexibility. They'll hold stuff for me. Like, they treat us really good. And I know most of the guys that have been there a long time, I know them. And then like the new guys that are there, I've always tried to talk to them and kind of stick around and get to know them, because it always comes in handy, because then they'll help you out. They'll hook you up. They'll tell you if something's on sale, or help you with prices and stuff like that. So it's always good to have that relationship with your supply house and the people there. And a lot of the new ones know me from YouTube, which is, it's funny enough, because some of them are trying to learn HVAC. I don't know if to do anything with it. I don't think so, but I think they just want to know more about what they're selling. So like I said, a lot of them know me from YouTube, and I like going there for the experience and the customer service. Insco just does not like my service. I guess I don't buy enough from them, that I always get pushed out the door. So that's why I said, like, Insco can shove it, because I have not, every time I need something, they are not helpful whatsoever. And there was one time that they had it was one of those days where they had all the companies down, like Hvac was here, and there was some other manufacturers and stuff. And Ben from HVAC Tactical came down, and he put me in conversations with some of the higher ups because he was helping, I believe, Insco or Navac and Insco. And I had higher ups tell me, yeah, we'll help you out. We'll do this. We'll do that. Crickets. So not a big fan. Johnstone will find me what I need. And they'll be upfront with me. They're like, hey, it's actually on Partstown. You can go buy it yourself. So they're super, super good to us, at least. And they love my dad. And I've always had a good relationship with the older guys there. And I get along with the young guys. So it works out. Timo has Ambro Controls knockoff. I'm going to have to look into it because there was another one. I think Brian might have used it. Is it Benzomatic, whatever it's called? There was another brand that did it. They did it horribly. So I would just be interested in seeing what this one looks like if Timo has it. Half the price. Because it's really just about the regulators. If it has the right regulators and you can control it and you get a good flame out of it, hey, it's on you where you get it from. It's not cheap. It is an investment. But it's one of those things that once you use it, you won't want to go back to the other torches. And I've had the turbo torches, the air acetylene and obviously the oxyacetylene, and I just wouldn't go back. And now getting these things, because I do YouTube and all that stuff, like getting these things and working with these companies, obviously we're sponsored today by Ambro Controls. That's one thing, but I mean, I'm a business owner too, so I buy these things as well. Like I can't get Ambro to send me like 5 or 6 sets. They're not going to do it. I've asked. Or it's in the contract when they do want to work together. We're only going to send you one for you, and then maybe a second one. I have more guys than that working for us, so we will buy them. That's how much I like them. And the same thing with anything else that's on my truck. If I like it enough, we buy them for everybody else. So the way I deal with this stuff is like, yeah, sometimes I get stuff for free, but I actually would buy these. So that's when I tell you guys like they're worth, getting. So we're definitely going to get more of these kits for the guys. Like Brian here, my company is looking to getting the guys the Ambro sets after some of the guys had seen his. So it's like I said, it's one of those, until you see it or use it, you don't know how much you're going to like it. And it's a big investment. I get it. But man, at this age and doing this almost 20 years, it's going to be 19 years. And I just remember all the struggles, all the carrying everything one by one, trying to carry as much as you can, one trip, you got the oxyacetylene, you got your vacuum pump, you got this and that, and you're trying to use dollies or hand trucks or whatever you got on wheels to kind of help you get it to where you need to. But I work on rooftops. Residential guys have it a little bit easier because you can pull up pretty close to park and then just kind of get it to, there. That's why I mentioned earlier, if you work in an attic, then you kind of know the pain of getting torches up there or whatever it is that you want to get up there. And yeah, like I said, at this point, doing this almost 20 years, I do not want to struggle anymore. So I will buy whatever I need to buy and invest in my trade and my craft to make it, because I have the skills, I have the craftsmanship. That's on me. Like, how good does a system get installed? How good does a service call go? How good does a repair go? How good does it look? All that is on me and the skills that I have. The tools just make it easier and more convenient. Easier on your back, easy on whatever. Like, that's what that does. And that is worth, the money to me. At least in my opinion. weekend is never long enough. Just gonna go back to the old comments before I move on. Oh, this is what I was laughing at in the intro. For the record, fourth grade math is stupid. I don't remember doing estimations. It was get the exact answer. So we are. I feel really bad for my son. They go to two different schools. So daughter does well, and she learns differently. She learns on her own pretty well. My son needs a little more assistance. He's more like me, and I feel bad. Now, helping either one of them is a whole other thing because it is not the same, and they don't let you do it the way we did it back in the day because I tell my son, I'm like, do whatever you need to do to make it easier for yourself, right? Draw little lines, draw this, draw that, write out everything that you need, count on your fingers, like do anything. And obviously they want them to show their work, but they're asking them to do it like twice as long. And I'm like, you don't need to do all that if you just simplify it. That's how I learned, and that's how I've always been, is like simplify it, break it up if you need to, like the math, the equations and all that stuff. Just break it up if you need to and figure it out separately and then get to the answer your own way. But now it's like, no, you got to do it like this, and you got to do and I forgot what it's called because he had some that I was like, I don't even know what the hell you're doing just to get a damn answer. So let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I know some guys are saying that some stuff has changed. Okay, I think I caught up. Where was I? Modern Comfort, what's up? Sorry, I'm on the slow train today. Yeah, I've said when it is 80s, when it hits 90, that feels amazing because it's usually like 110. I miss Radio Shack. Just bought my first jug of 454 last week. You've been installing R32 and 410. I think someone said that they're changing or revising that whole thing. I think they're trying to be less strict. I've been trying to avoid it as much as I can. We still have a lot of 410. I do refrigeration. I've been retrofitting a lot of 404. I haven't even jumped on the bandwagon of like 448 or anything like that. I just don't want to carry more tanks. It's so like, it gets overwhelming. Only $6.30 a jug. They had a sale at Johnstone for like $5.50, I believe. I don't know how long that lasted for though. I think I'd take a picture. must have been a while ago. Let's see. I finally installed the 454 system, but I made sure that they gave me the line set because it was a 2-story home. Yeah, they anticipated, or they were saying that it was going to be or level off and normalize by August, which it didn't. It barely went down. What are we, like October? Like, I think it barely went down the beginning of this month to where I finally saw it. I know he said 630. I saw it at 550, so it barely came down. They called 2 places. I mean, that as long as you got it at a decent price, because I just refused to buy it at $1,000. That was my whole thing. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting one in. Some customers buy their own equipment. I was like, you better buy a jug if you need it, because I'm not buying it. Or we're gonna charge you for like really good for it. Yeah, I guess if you do the math, R290, like I said earlier, is like 15 to 20 bucks, and you only get like 10 ounces or whatever it is, 8 ounces on some. But you only need, at least the stuff that I work on, you only need like 0.9 ounces. I think I saw one the other day was like 2 ounces or something. What I had something rigged up, and I did lose, or like it leaked out in my van. So I did get the, it's the new Calgon scale. What is it called? They have a name to it. It has like a leaf on it or something. It's green. So I got their scale because it comes with a kit, and you're able to screw on the, like the adapter or the part that like opens it, and you can seal it, and they say that it won't leak out. So I mean, like I said, they're not super expensive. You can charge a full one even if you don't use it all to one job, but it's the principle, right? Like, you buy it, it's 10 ounces. That should be good for like 5 to 8 units. I'm trying to keep every ounce on it. What is up? Silent Tone Victor. I don't even do Linux. You go to, oh, okay, yeah, you go to Linux and you go to Johnstone. I work on a lot of Carrier, so I do have to go to the Carrier, here, the Carrier Enterprise. And then every now and then I'll buy stuff there, but I'm usually picking up Carrier parts. And obviously Train, we do a lot of Train. So those are the two that I go to outside of Johnstone. We also have a Baker's. I haven't been there in a while though. We have a Baker's that I liked. And what was the other one? Johnson, but we have an account, but I haven't finished setting it up. I think the guys have bought a few things from there. I haven't. All right, Jason. He's tapping out. It gets a little overwhelming, Sam, but I appreciate everybody coming out and having a good time. I'm trying to see if I can set this up real quick. We'll do that. Oh, Sam, while you're here, I do have the probes with me. Timo also sells underwear. Not sure I would trust it. See, the other thing I was gonna say is like on my, I do have a tech channel, right? Some of you guys have gone over to subscribe to that. I do have the Reliable Tech YouTube channel, and I've been doing a lot of things over there. So you're gonna see me review like camera stuff, like stuff outside of HVAC. I get stuff from the TikTok shop, and I was just thinking about it because some people have brought up like Temu, and there's another one. I think it's AliExpress. I was like, those I probably wouldn't want to shop off of, but TikTok shop, because some people are like, I wouldn't buy off the TikTok shop. I've gotten some good things off of there, and a lot of it is stuff that I can do, like, obviously, like, because I'm in that space. I'm in the creator thing on TikTok that I get paid for and all that. So the stuff that I buy there is legit. So I would compare TikTok shop to Amazon, and I buy from those frequently, to where I don't, or I wouldn't buy off of like Temu, AliExpress, stuff like that. And yes, I think like Temu and AliExpress, you're waiting forever, even if it, like if it ever shows up. The TikTok shop and all that, it gets here really quick, even though I don't know where the hell it's coming from. Yeah, my what do you call it? So Johnstone has almost everything. For a while, they didn't have the cylinders, right? The Ambro Control cylinders. And it was just because they hadn't, like, I think people were buying them that they didn't expect them to sell out, because they had them there forever, and then nobody bought them, and then finally people bought them, and they sold everything. And I was like, where are all the cylinders? Because my guys were asking me, where do we get the cylinders? I was like, go to Insco, because Johnstone just hadn't re-upped, and now they did. So you need to ask them, because you said you got it at United, which is weird. Have you asked them to order them for you? Because if they sell the torches, they should sell the refills. There was another one. I don't know. I usually get mine at Johnstone and Insco, and they sell the kit and the bottles. It's just for a while they couldn't keep up, I guess, with having the refills. If anybody's watching on TikTok, I appreciate you guys for stopping in. Ask any questions. This is my HVAC and Chill Sunday stream over on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, that's where all the chat's coming from. Oh, that's right. I haven't tried it yet. I need to put it on the van. What is up, Josue? Over on TikTok, HVAC Zach, what is up? Ambro Controls has that. What was it called again? Is it? There's Performax. Is it that one? They have and I completely forgot about it because I haven't brazed in a while. I did do that braze job, but I needed the precision torch set to fix that stupid TXV. So they have that map gas only one, which is, I tried it out. It looks legit. When I do my videos, I'll do a demo on it, because that one you can just use map gas, and you can just get it from anywhere. It doesn't have to be theirs. You can get from Home Depot or wherever you get it. And it looked legit. It's just, obviously the flame is going to be a little bit bigger, but if you have the space, if you do commercial type equipment, or you just have an area where you can do it, use a heat shield of some sort, a brazing blanket, and just make sure you cover anything and you'll be fine. But yeah, I'm excited to try that one, and it should come in handy. See, Brian just told him, make sure you better have it, or I'm not gonna come here anymore. So he bought his. I'm assuming you bought it at United as well. Once you bought the set, make sure they keep it in stock. I forget where you're at, Brian. Strictly do restaurants now. I remember when my kids were in elementary and they would go ask me to help them with their homework. I almost couldn't figure it out. They were like in second or third grade. It's like every generation has to go through that. I was like, this is not the math that we did. They just make it harder and harder. Crazy. You can almost buy R22 cheaper. I think you could for a good while. It was cheaper for a good while when I checked. Jesus, back in 2023, I went to a training event where we spoke about the 410A phase out. The rep showed us a graph showing the global warming potential. R410 was 2090 and the cutoff was 2000. Dang, yeah, just missed it. Is that the official cutoff? Is 7 ounces right now? I haven't checked because I've never seen anything that like you said your average is 1.5 ounces on R290. I think there was only one that I had seen that was like 2 point something, 2.9 or 2.5 or something. And that was the one that and it wasn't even like a large system. It just, for some reason, it took more than the other ones that I've seen. But it's crazy because I see a lot like in that range. I saw one at 0.9. I saw one like at 1.5, like you said. And it's crazy. But it works really well. R290 works really well. I had some warranty calls, and as soon as you start it up and put that R290 in it, it just instantly like cools. Moving the goalpost, yeah. Oh, if you go to, yeah, I thought about that before and I should have typed it in. If you go to my homepage on YouTube, you can go scroll all the way to the bottom, and I have my other channels, which is like HVAC Nights and my top channels to watch. It's there. It's Reliable Tech. The full name is Reliable Tech for Creators, because I think Reliable Tech was taken. So it's Reliable Tech for Creators YouTube channel. If you're searching in YouTube, you have to put the little @ symbol and then put Reliable Tech for Creators, and it should pop up. I should have enough videos for it to come up now. But I'm going to start posting again weekly, and I might have to post like twice a week for a good while. That totally sucked because I had good momentum and I lost it on that channel, to where the first videos I had, I think one of them even had like 10,000 views. Another one had like 4,000. And I think a lot of them were in that range. It's been over a year. I took a big break. So it's been over a year. And what YouTube does is it only gives you a year, or it only counts the past 365 days. to monetize. And all those hours that I had in the beginning, because it took off a little bit quicker than I thought, are coming off my eligibility. So I don't know if it's going to get monetized, but it's just for fun. I show like the cameras I buy, the microphones I buy, this new setup that I have over here. We're going to show that as well. I'll go over like the podcasting setup as well. All that's going to be there just to show you what I use. Cause like on my main channel here, it's just work and tools and stuff. Right. And over there, it's like, how do I make these videos and what are the things that I recommend? And, people send me stuff to review. So we'll do that on that channel. On MySpace. Why did that came up? I had a talking point for that at some point. I think it was because of all the young guys that I've been interviewing on the podcast. I think I meant to bring that up and I just forgot, because all those younger technicians that are like, have a following on TikTok and Instagram. Most of them started on TikTok. Like they got crazy views, crazy whatever following. And what was I going to say? I was going to tell them like back in the day it was MySpace. Like it's not even around anymore. Vine. What? Vine? I never used Vine. Vine was like, I think the original version of TikTok. Over the air podcast would be great, like the old days. Make my son hold the antenna. But yeah, Kitchen Cowboy. If you don't find it, I'm gonna link it after I get off or this ends, because I meant to put it in the description and stuff, and I just forgot. We're at 15 minutes already. Time flies on this Sunday night stream. Originally, this was supposed to be like a 30-minute stream just to have some fun and take some questions, and it's done so well. I like doing this one because it's kind of the warm up to the week, also to HVAC nights this week. And yeah, I wish and that all doesn't count towards my monetization now, because those were my first videos and they're the best ones. Now I don't get any views because I took a break, and YouTube, if I'm being honest, with any social media, any platform, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, consistency, no matter what anybody tells you, consistency does matter. Now, consistency for you is different than mine, than someone else's. You could post once a month, twice a month, whatever it is, but you need to do it consistently, right? Every 2 weeks, the same day, same time. Every week, the same day, same time, whatever it is. And I guess I was punished because I was posting quite a bit and it was doing well. And then I took months off, and now my views are obviously low again. But it just sucks because I was really close to monetizing it, and those don't count now. So like where I had so many thousand watch hours, now it's like knocking that down quite a bit. Friendly reminder to hit the like button. Sometimes they ship the whole condenser section. Oh, here we go. True has the best warranty, 7 years parts and labor. If the system leaks, they will send you the evaporator, cap tube, filter dryer. But if the compressor had ran in a vacuum, they send a new compressor. Yeah, I've done warranty for. Actually, I haven't done a True in a while. It was, I believe, Delfield, but I didn't end up doing it. They wanted the company that sold it to do it. And then I did Blue Air. If you guys remember Blue Air, I haven't seen them in a while. Blue Air is everybody's knockoff. It's like the ice machines were like Hoshizaki ice machines. I want to say their under counters were kind of like True, and I did a warranty for them, and they sent everything out for Blue Air. Compressor gave out. They sent everything, piping and stuff, and that was the R290 system that I did work on. I think I caught up on the chat finally. What I was going to talk about. Who's in here? I don't know if Eddie HVAC is still in here. Because I know he started a business. I've heard a lot of chatter, and I'll kind of end with this. From guys talking about, starting a business. I've seen a lot of young guys doing it now. And there's been, and like I said, this is like a warm up. We'll get into it on HVAC night, so I can get like Jake's opinion on this too, because nasty. To start a business, it's a little bit hard if you're not prepared, because you're not gonna make everything or make a lot when you start. Now, I think we got lucky. I think luck has a lot to do with a lot of things in life. And my dad started this business as a food service company, right? So he does cooking equipment. I always have to remind people. First generation HVAC tech here, maybe like a third generation tradesperson. My grandfather was a mechanic, and then worked for the city. He did a lot of handyman stuff. And then my dad was an electrician who got into fixing cooking equipment. And then I went to HVAC trade school and got into HVAC and refrigeration. So when he ultimately got thrown into, got thrown into starting the business, it was because he had to leave his job. And he didn't anticipate starting it right then and there, but he got pushed into it, and he's like, well, we got to start now. But he made a lot of good relationships. He networked. He did all this other stuff to make sure that it started well. So we had one customer when we started, and it was a hospital. And they gave us a ton of work. They were really cool. They were like, yeah, fix this, fix that. Everything got approved real quick. And the same one we do now, I mean, there's work. There's still a ton of work. The only time it stopped was when COVID started, and they had a budget. We worked during COVID for that hospital, but after that, I guess they looked at their budget, and obviously there were, everybody's sick, everybody dying. There was a lot of stuff going on, so we couldn't work there as much during that time. But right now it picked up again. So they were like, screw the budget, everything's approved again. So we had that to fall on, and then we just went around and hustled. So we went out and tried to get everything that we could. We took on work that we probably shouldn't. Learned a lot of stuff the hard way. A lot of long days, pulling my hair out, stressing out, cursing at systems, and just feeling defeated sometimes. So all of that, right? And all that to say, like, I've heard through other like things here and there on social media, right? People like, oh, you should start. And the one thing I kept hearing was like, you make so much money as an employee, right? You make whatever you make an hour, 20 an hour, 30 an hour, whatever it is. And you take home a few $100s a day. Maybe you do commission, you make more, whatever. And they're like, and I've heard this several times already. What if you were the business owner? What if you were, you know, doing it for yourself? You would take home, like on a compressor change out, like $2,000-$3,000, whatever it is, whatever you charged. And I was like, that's not how that works, right? That is, for one, compressor costs, right? The compressors we buy cost like $1,500. Refrigerant, obviously, and then heart meat. What's up, Florida native? What was I gonna say? So there's a lot of costs, right? And then obviously what you pay the employee, what you pay for the gas, the insurance, employee tax, like so on and so forth. So you need a lot of jobs as a business to add up. You need several thousands of dollars a day, or you can look at it through the week, whatever it is, to make up for all the cost that comes with a business. So I just don't like when people are like, oh yeah, the boss makes $3,000 on this job. I don't make anything. I should start my own business. There's a ton wrong with that. Profit margin. Look, and that reminds me, I need to get back to some of the emails that I got. What was I going to say? I've had business podcasts reach out for me to be on, and I'm like, I'm no business guru. We just charge more than we spend, right? Like there's a thing to be, because Jake knows all this stuff as far as profit margin, overhead, all that kind of stuff. He knows numbers. I have to be honest. I don't do, you have no clue. I don't do that to that like specific number. We charge more. An easy markup we did for, and we still kind of do it, is 1.5 times. So like whatever you buy the part for, you charge 1.5 times that, and you're covered, right? You make, what is that, 50% over the cost of the part. And what I tell people is, if it's a cheap part, maybe charge twice, right? If it's like a $30 part, whatever, charge $60 for it. Go buy 2 of them. One stays in your truck. You don't make much on that initial first year, like is what I'm getting at. You don't make much in the beginning, but you're investing in it. You put money back into it. You put, like I said, you might charge a certain amount or a rate if you do residential to cover the cost, and then cover the cost of maybe some stock parts or some tools that you need or whatever it is. Like starting a business takes a lot of money, and it's not that you need to have that money up front. It's not that you have to take out a big loan or anything like that. Like we did a lot with very little. And like I said, we didn't start knowing we were going to start. My dad got pushed out of his company, and he's like, well, I'm going to start now. He said it was the best thing ever. So very proud of him to have it open this long. I am now taking it over. So, you know, I'm learning all that stuff, Mike. But I've always just known how to charge. And I appreciate that, Mike, new to the channel, subscribed and hit the bell. Appreciate it. That's all it is what I've told these other podcasters that want to know about the business side. We just charge more than what we spend, and we don't spend stupidly. We don't need a new truck, a new van. I've seen that too. A lot of new companies, brand new van, brand new truck, brand new wrap, whatever it is. We started in a pickup truck, an old Chevy navy blue pickup truck. We got some magnets eventually, but like we didn't do much. And then our first actual vans and vehicles, everything has been used. We just put lettering on it. We didn't do the wraps. We didn't do any of that because we couldn't afford it. It's just how you start. 40% gross margin on every ticket. There, I want to say that's what me and Jake had talked about. I'm pretty sure that was the number we talked about. Cheaper parts. Yeah. Cheaper parts get a much higher markup. It's so hard to charge, like, what are you going to charge? Like $4, $6? Like, you got to charge. I always say, this is another one. If you guys are charging, like, you need to cover your, like, screws and wire nuts, because that stuff will eat up your money if you always give it out for free. So your screws, wire nuts, tape, anything that you use, you can put it together like in a miscellaneous. It can be for plumbing or electrical, however you want to word it, and just have like a minimum, right? Your miscellaneous plumbing could be like $25. Your miscellaneous electrical could also be that, or brazing. You could set it at 50 or whatever, like a fee to braze, a fee to recover, a fee to vacuum, and all that. You need these fees, even though it's because I just had a customer that I have to separate consumables now. So anything with gas related, I have to put in a separate category when I submit it online. So that's a whole other thing. But yeah, you have all these expenses. You need to make sure that you charge for them is my whole. I was going to answer you over on TikTok, man. I was trying to get through this chat, and I was going to get to the next one. Florida native 239. What's up, man? Where was I? Okay, so I'm going to read your comments from over on TikTok. I'm trying to use my TikTok more, honestly. What was I going to say? So yeah, you gotta have the fees. You gotta have everything covered. Cover your expenses. Before, I think we gave out too many favors, gave out too many free calls. Then you run into the issue of also like free estimates, free follow-ups. There's a lot of stuff, and nothing's really free, right? Your gas, your insurance, your time. So make sure you charge for all that, and that's what helps you. Yes, sir. I'm glad that you came over, man. We do these every Sunday night, just chatting with the people in the chat, and I've been trying to bring this over to TikTok so I can kind of answer, because I know a lot of people on TikTok as well. I just haven't used it as much, and I appreciate you coming over. There's a line on my tickets. Is that a fee or a discount on your ticket? What's up, Ewok? So I'm based Florida native. I'm based out of South Texas. So we get heat all year round. So it's a lot of AC work here, but I prefer to do commercial refrigeration. So I do a lot of walk-in boxes, restaurant work and stuff like that. So that's what I prefer, and that's what I like to do more, and that's what we try to do more of. But it's hot year round. Like I said, it's still 90 right now. It's barely going to cool down. So we've been slammed. It's just been hot. I know Florida gets some of the same weather. Negative discount. I know Florida gets some of the same weather, but I think you guys cool off before we do. You had said that you're 18 years in the trade. I'm 19 years in the trade. Plan on going on my own at some point, but it's slightly terrifying as I don't take failure well. So here's the thing. You're gonna fail. Unless you you prepare the hell out of yourself for, yeah, that's what I tell people. Florida is kind of the same because we deal with, where I'm at, we deal with hurricane weather and all that kind of stuff. I'm by the coast as well. So a lot of the same, what do you call it? Weather and, all that. So what I've always told people is when you start a business, it's kind of like starting out as a technician is you start from the bottom. So when we started, yeah, my dad had that one connection. He had other connections, but yeah, he had that one customer that was lined up. And again, we weren't ready. So maybe if he had prepared, he could have had a line of customers, but it's like a sink or swim type of deal. And it's a roller coaster type of deal too, where you start over basically. So you're gonna fail. I've told people, and there's a man. I think it was in my last podcast. There's no success without failures, right? You fail like to get back up. You fail to succeed, and that's the way I look at it because you're not gonna know everything. You're not gonna have everything picture perfect, lined up, all that kind of stuff. And when we started, I think I was trying to get to this earlier. Like, I think we had success too early because we did well. And then we hired people and we did horrible. We lost a shit ton of money and we were getting taken advantage of. We had our customers taken away from us from some of the guys that went to do maintenance for them. And that was family that did that. So they took our main bread and butter customer away from us, and we had to start over again. So starting the business, then getting to a nice high where we were working all day, every day, and then getting that taken away. And then we started at a all-time low and build it back up. It takes a lot. And like I said, you could be better prepared if you kind of take things into account. And that's a good thing now is you have social media, you have YouTube channels. Everybody's pretty open to telling you how they did it, and you can have an idea and get that, get a better understanding of these things. And I'm open to discussing this all the time. We gotta celebrate. It'll be a year from now. I think I need to double check the dates. I'm pretty sure we just hit 19, so next year would be the 20th. Yeah, like you might have a better understanding of it now because the only thing I don't like is just everybody that is saying get into the trade. You're gonna make $30 an hour when you start. You're gonna make even more and make this and that. Start a business because you're gonna make millions of dollars or whatever it is. Like, it's not like that. And everybody's success is different. We don't make millions of dollars. We're well under that. And we, just because of the area that we live in, we live comfortably. I have enough of what I need, and we are well off, and we have kids and everything. So like, we're good. I don't make a shit ton of money, but it's also where I live. So that's just been my whole thing is like the expectations. Cause somebody had brought it up to me during a podcast that they wanted to talk more about the bad side. And I was like, that's fine. Like you can have a slow start. You can have, like ups and downs. You can't, like, all that happens. Now, like I said, if you're prepared and you kind of have things under control, you're super disciplined, scheduled and structured and all that kind of stuff, you might have a better, you can navigate better than we did. Because my dad didn't know anything about business. So we started and, I helped him out because he didn't know computers. He didn't know how to do documents. He didn't know how to do advertising. That's kind of where I started. And then I got into the trade. and learn this HVAC stuff. I will look anyone in the eye and tell them we are a for-profit company and we may not be your choice. So there's always that saying, like, fire your customer. I've walked away from a lot of customers, and we just had, because we, and again, it takes time. We took a lot of jobs that we didn't want to, and we have strictly done more like because we do restaurant work mostly, right? So there's local restaurants, and I'll get back to that in a minute. And there's like fast food chains or national chains of whatever restaurant. Those have been good. Now they do have their quirks, right? The people you have to deal with so many people. The payments are like a month later, 2 months later. Sometimes you have to, really chase that check. All that kind of stuff happens with commercial, but I was reminded recently why I didn't like doing local like small business restaurants is because they don't want to pay anything. They want free estimates every time. They want the other day my dad was trying to do a quote, and I told the guy, I was like, you might pay up to $275 depending on what he finds and how long it takes if you want an estimate. Because I try to give him a price, and he's like, I need a breakdown. I need an invoice. I need a quote. I need something. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to write it out for you, but I'm going to put the max price that it is. And that's another thing, right? Like quote actually will cost them more if that's what they want. Because I will charge time and labor all day. I have no issue with that. But if they want a quote, we have to quote a little bit higher, right? So I told them it could be up to $275 for this cabinet warmer. Well, the guy threw a fit because he's like, your dad said it was like a $30 or $20 switch. And I was like, what do you expect us to put it in for? Like, do you want to pay $50? Like, the trip to get out there, the labor to do this, he might have a helper, all this factors in because he was also rushing us because they get busy at certain times, right? And it was a barbecue spot. And I was like, you want it done. It's either going to take a couple hours, or if you want it done quicker, he needs a helper. That runs up the cost as well. My dad wants to do it the right way, right? He tries to do OEM parts, but at least parts that are rated for that equipment. Because when he looked at it, he's like, it's been worked on. It's been put or pieced together, and those are not the right parts. So he was going to put in the right parts, all that kind of stuff. So this guy, my dad was like, he's crying for like $200. I was like, I know. So, and that's the type of work that we started with, and we were okay with starting with that. But now we kind of pick and choose because, we've been doing it so long, and we stay busy. And like I said, we can pick and choose. So that just reminded me why I don't like to do a lot of local small businesses. And I get it. They're trying to stay open. They're trying to save a buck. I completely get it. But, like you mentioned, that you tell people that you might not be their best choice. I've done that too. I tell people, you know what? And this one was very close, but he kept saying, I want you to do it, but I want the price lower. I'm like, dude. So at that point, I usually tell them, like, our price is our price. If you want it done right, we will do it right. We take the time. We take the, the pride in our work. If you want it done cheap, you might want to call you might want to call around. You might want to get a second opinion. I don't really care. I'm not trying to hide anything. It's just our price is our price. It's based on our experience, knowing how long something will take. So it's based on time and, getting the right materials and getting good quality material. And like you said, sometimes you got to turn away work. I bought a Klein mini ratchet and the carabiner holder for the Allen bits. Yeah, I use that thing for everything. I mentioned the size in one of my videos. It's probably going to be hard to find. Maybe on YouTube here. If you go to the shorts, where I show the Milwaukee bit holders. I think I mentioned it in there. They're Molwark Allen key bits. So they go into like a drill. They're like impact bits. So that set you can find in my my tool link. But those I carry two specific ones. I forget the sizes. If anybody can tell me off the top of their head. It's the ones for pulleys. So the bigger one is for pulleys. So that's the size that you would find like on a blower motor for the like RTUs. And the other one is the size for walk-in or any like condenser fan or evaporator fan motor, the set screw for the blade. I just answered that question and I can't remember what sizes they were because the Molwark has like a specific number on the side. But yeah, I carry those two because that's most of the work that I do is taking off blades and taking off pulleys. I had to turn away work and find new work. Been having to reject more work lately due to this. Yeah, it gets annoying because, yeah, it's a reality of doing business with small companies. Starting to learn that. That is the, and like I said, I get it because they're trying to save a buck. They're a small business. They're a family, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. But they have to respect you as a business. And like, I really, like I said, we used to take a lot of work like this. We used to do favors, try to please everybody, and it helped to get our name out. But you're doing a lot of free work or discounted work at that point, and at a point you get tired of it and you need to say no. So we did it for a while. I'm not saying that we didn't do that. We did go really cheap. We did discount stuff. We did give free or knock off hours, whatever it is. But at a point, it's like, okay, we got enough work now, or we are going to look elsewhere for work. Our price is our price. It's we're priced at, you know, making money, not losing money. So yeah, unfortunately, that's how it is. And once you kind of put that foot down, you can look elsewhere. You're going to find better customers. And that's the thing that they don't realize. They always act like they're doing you a favor by hiring you, when in fact they're taking you away or taking your time from actually doing business with like a good customer. So it's going to take a bit to build that up or find other customers or good customers, but they have to realize that, because I tell them all the time, I was like, I really don't care if you use this or not. If you don't want to pay this, I will go somewhere else. I will go to my next job. But they always think that you're at their mercy because you need the work, which sometimes you do, but you can find better customers. I deal with a few national chains. It's a nightmare to get paid. Yes. So a lot of them have gone digital. So we submit everything online. I still have to be on top of it, which is another reason why we hired like 3 people this year, so I could stay on top of the paperwork more, so I can see which reminds me, I need to submit a few that they haven't paid, so I can be on top of it, because they will let it go and until you say something. Oh, I forgot to pay it. Oh, here. That is a hassle. That is something you have to chase down. That is one thing that I am jealous on, like the residential side. I know they do financing too, but like whenever it's like a small ticket, they get paid on site. We never get paid on site unless it is a small business. They will write the check out. right then and there because they want to pay it, or they pay you out of the register or whatever. But all national chains, all big chains, it's good work, it's good pay, but you have to be on top of it, and that's what I'm trying to do more, is trying to do more of the office stuff so that we can get paid on time, or like in a reasonable time frame. Because yes, they go a month, 2 months. I've seen some even longer that I'm trying to get approved, which is another thing. You have to get things approved. You have to get things, all that has to go through somebody higher up, make sure that gets paid, this and that. So it's a hassle. Welcome in, everybody. We got a big jump over here. Appreciate everybody. Don't forget to hit the like, friendly reminder. Oh yes, that's the other thing is I can't remember where I talked about it, but the problem is once you start, this is why because okay, that barbecue place I was talking about that was fighting that $200 ticket. I got mad at my dad because he got frustrated. He's like, fine. And he took like $100 off or something. I was like, dude, don't. I was like, because I wanted to go myself, but he went with one of the apprentices and they knocked it out. I was like, we were supposed to go tomorrow. He did it a day early. I was like, we were supposed to go tomorrow. And I wanted to talk to him because he had already been like complaining about the price and stuff. But he was like, no, I still want you guys to go. But come on, the price is the only thing that's getting to me. I forgot how he worded it. He's like, the only problem I have is the price, but I want you guys to do it. I was like, I wanted to be there, and I wanted him to pay. I actually wanted him to pay up front or have the check ready. But my dad was frustrated. He knocked it down. And he's like, it was kind of simple. We knocked it down. I was like, that doesn't matter. He wanted to quote. He should have paid what we quoted. Because I don't want him to expect that kind of discount every time, or I don't want him to think we're going to do it for like $100 or $50 or whatever the cost of the part is. That's another thing where you fall into is if you help one customer or help somebody that asked for like a discount, they're going to expect that from you every time. So another thing I've talked about, and I think Kurt is the one that mentioned it on Nights one time, you need to, like, nobody tells you when to discount your work or work for free or whatever, however you want to word it. Nobody tells you when to do that. You decide when you want to help out a customer, because I will help out a lot of our good customers once they've done enough work with us and we've built that relationship and stuff. Okay, then it's like, okay, I'll give you the part at cost. Like, you need it now. It's an emergency, whatever. Or I was out there for this job and I took an extra hour to stay and make sure it worked. Like, okay, I'm not going to charge you for that. Like, I've done things like that, but it has to be a good customer, good paying customer, on time and all that. Not when they tell me that they want like a discount. Like that's where you fall into that kind of problem. Super low. I feel like I have it at the same. It might be just a little bit low. I do apologize. It's a different mic that I'm used to. But on the audio bar, it's like right under the other mic, so it shouldn't be that low. Shrimpies Aquatics. I don't know if you're still here or not. Sorry about that. Bro, I graduate with HVAC degree in December and I start my first install job tomorrow. If you're still in here, congrats. A lot of people start an install. It's a good way to learn the tools, learn how to do, learn the tools, learn the process, learn the steps, and just take in everything that you can. And then figure out your company pays you, or because I'm doing it too, because we have apprentices. The ones that are showing initiative and they're doing things, without being asked, they learn the process of like an install or or a maintenance. That's it. We usually have our apprentices like on installs and maintenance. They learn the process and they can start doing things on their own. That's the cool part. And there is one that is excelling super quick, and he just like yeah, I want to do that. I want to do it. I'm asking questions to learn to do it next time. Like that dude's already in line. He's already been bumped up. He got his own van already. Like that's the way you excel. Oh yeah, you're still here. Yeah, that's the way you excel. Just learn as much as you can and take advantage if you're on the younger side because oh, what's up, disciple? I don't know if you're still here. Man, I missed a few. Uh yeah, show initiative, learn as much as you can, and you're gonna make mistakes. I tell my apprentices all the time, I'd rather you try and maybe try and figure it out if you feel comfortable, if you want to take that initiative. But I can always fix whatever you do. I can always help you over the phone. I can always go out there and help you. I can deal with the customer if they're being difficult. I can do that stuff. I just need you to try, right? Try and learn. Try and build up to being your own technician, basically, and that's what helps. Not only that, but finding good help nowadays. Yeah. Nobody wants to work. Everybody just wants money. Okay, well that's why I didn't say age. You're 44. Um, I've interviewed people that start at like 40 and 50, and they love it. Yeah, let me know how it goes. You were a diesel tech for 16 years and prior service in the military. So thank you for your service. I appreciate that. And it doesn't matter what age you start at. I can tell you when you start, whatever age it is, I think you have a little more excitement for it. You want it, like, it's obviously you're getting into it right now, so it's something you want to do. So just keep that, and like I said, just try, right? And you've already had experience, doing other stuff. So just apply what you can and soak it up. Oh, that's a good point. Brian Sanders says it's already broken before you got there. You can't. It's not much worse that you can do to it. Yeah, like I ran that technician I talked about to some weekend calls because I wasn't in town. I was like, just go look at it. Just go check it. It's down. If you can't fix it, we'll get to it on Monday, right? I was like, I just need eyes on it. I just need you to check it. And if you can fix it, great. He went and he did everything that I would have done. And he figured out that it was he didn't figure out that it was a compressor, but from what he told me, I was like, okay, it's probably the compressor. So overamping, overheating, wasn't pumping. So he checked all his starting components. He checked amperage. He checked like a bunch of stuff. He tried ice on the compressor. He did everything that we've shown him. So that, like I said, you can't break it unless you go in there and tear it up. You can't make it worse. So just give it a shot. All right, guys. I had an influx of people come in. I appreciate everybody. It was fun chatting, chasing bottom feeders. Appreciate all the new names that came through. What is up? I think I've seen this one before. I'm going to get off. I'm going to go eat some dinner. We ran a lot longer than I thought we were. And appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm going to hit the outro. Shit. I do have some videos coming up. I was going to show some stuff, but we'll do it next week. The probes that I got. Or I'll just show the case. I was going to show Sam that I got the UEI pressure probes. So we'll talk about that next week. Like I said, appreciate you guys. And I'm going to hit the outro. We'll see you guys next week.